Ramana Maharshi said of enlightenment, those who succeed do so only with proper effort. And there's a kind of danger, the reason that I don't read it, and that is that wise effort needs to be balanced in the culture in which we live, that is a culture of ambition and striving and self-judgment. The danger being that we can and do easily make things worse, tie knots in ourselves, increase our struggle, reinforce our unworthiness, repeat our trauma by trying to be somebody that we're not through the misuse of effort. So wise effort also needs to be balanced. And almost everyone knows the parable of the lute, where the Buddha is sitting there in the cool forest with Sona. And Sona, his disciple, is thinking, I am filled with energy, yet my heart is not yet free, and goes to speak to the Buddha and says, can you assist me? And the Buddha said, tell me, Sona, were you not a player of the lute, skilled in playing music? He says, yes, I was, sir. And tell me, when the strings of the lute were too taut, was the lute tuneful and easily played? It was not. And when the strings were too loose of your lute, was it then tuneful or easily playable? Again, it was not, sir. But then when the strings of your lute were tuned neither too tight nor too loose, but to the perfect pitch on that day, then did your lute not have a wondrous sound that was easily playable and pleasing to the ears and the hearts of those around? Indeed it was, and so that was the instruction he was given in meditation. We need to be wise about wise effort. And what it asks of us in some way, yes, is an impeccability, a courage, a willingness to take the difficulties of life and make them into the place of compassion and wakefulness. But it also requires constancy, a steadiness, and a kindness or mercy, because awakening doesn't come by wrenching the heart open. Flowers don't open by pulling on the petals. A Japanese proverb puts it this way, one kind word can warm 3 winter's months. Even a moment of kindness can make all the difference. There you are struggling, whether it's in meditation or in work or in a relationship, and just the moment of bringing that tenderness can transform it all. So there's a paradox. One way of understanding wise effort is as a development, a practice, to nourish, to let go, to abandon, to purify, to cleanse, to plant seeds, to become better. And we do that, and it's helpful. But this places it in time. And the second dimension of wise effort is that which is timeless. A young man came to a Zen master, very avid, the way only young men can be, and said, I'm here, and I'm going to really practice. How long will it take to attain enlightenment? The Zen master kind of took the measure of the fellow and said, 10 years. 10 years. What if I really give myself to it? Really work at it? Zen master looked at me and said, in that case, 20 years. Right? The young man protested, hey, wait a second, that's not right. Why did you double it? That's not, if I really do it. And the Zen master said, yes, in your case, it might take 30. It's not about grasping or becoming something. It is about the end of grasping, to be with what is true. Remember this passage from Krishnamurti. When the mind is still, silent, open, neither seeking nor resisting, then it is possible to see what is true. And it is the truth that liberates, and not your efforts to be free. Sacred effort is the effort to open and be aware of what is true. What we seek is what we are. There's a longing for home, a longing for approval. The universe obviously approves of you. That's why you're here. The traditional image is of this old pot that's being used by some homeless person. It was a beggar in the old Indian story, but it's a homeless person now on the streets of San Francisco or San Rafael or Berkeley or whatever, begging this old pot. And then someone sees it and gives the beggar a little bit of money and sells it at auction. And it's this priceless antique. It's not what's in it that matters, but the pot itself. And we are the pot. We forget who we really are. The sage, again, Ramana Maharshi, he says, there's no greater joke than this, that being the reality ourselves, we seek to gain reality. We think that there is something binding our reality and that it must be destroyed before reality is gained. It is ridiculous. The day will dawn when you yourself will laugh at all your efforts to be free and simply let go. And that which is on the day of laughter is also now.